Hey beautiful people, this video is about what are the positives of leadership roles. Spoiler alert, there are tons. Leadership roles come with responsibility, but they also bring opportunities that you cannot get anywhere else. I'm Jennifer Kenny. I'm the author of the best-selling book, The Innovation Mindset, and the award-winning book, 100% Capacity. I help leaders step into opportunities that they might not otherwise be able to tackle, and I also help them lead projects and be successful inside their organizations. Let's talk about why saying yes to leadership can change your life and your future. Gallup says highly engaged leaders boost productivity by up to 21%. So think about the roles that you've been in where you were not the leader. Many of us want to become leaders because we think we could do it better. Admit it, that is probably why you're interested in becoming a leader. Yes, there's the prestige and the title and hopefully extra money, but there's also the I think I could do things better conversation that you have with yourself. So as you start thinking about leadership, start thinking about the type of leader that you would like to follow. I think that's always a really good benchmark for people, because what happens over time is if you've worked for half a dozen different leaders, you can identify leaders that were really fantastic for you. Chances are that's because they worked in a way, or they talked in a way, or they created opportunities, or they engaged with you, or they had visions that resonated strongly with you. If they resonated strongly with you, that means that they mattered to you. As you start defining yourself as a leader, start defining yourself as a leader by people who you have enjoyed following. It's going to make those steps of recognizing your own leadership capabilities a lot easier. One of the great things about leadership is, in a leadership role, if you learn how to fully embrace it, you put yourself in a position where you can be part of the strategy, so you can improve, hopefully, on that strategy. You can certainly contribute to it. You become part of building the culture, and you become part of the ownership of the results. Now, depending on how you approach those can be huge bonuses, or they can be huge deterrents. Once you put yourself in a leadership role, or once your organization puts you in a leadership role, but you look to get yourself promoted into one, your growth and learning can accelerate enormously. And the reason for that is because as a leader, you have an awful lot more say in what it is that you're working on, in the conversations that you're engaged in who your internal and external customers are, and you are able to position yourself by virtue of making offers, which I talk about in another video, but by virtue of making offers, you're able to position yourself more in alignment with the work that you love to do. So let me give you an example of what that looks like. I've been working with this phenomenal woman who is someone who just has enormous energy and enormous capacity, and because of that, she was on about 13 different membership councils or decision-making councils within her organization. Now, that to me looks like a full-time job plus some. And she's also someone who's doing amazing work in the vaccine space. And what happened with that is her work, which she came to work to do, which she was kind of put on the planet to do, to help build vaccines for all of us, was actually taking up less and less and less of her time, and it was making her sad. She was spending more and more of her time on these committees. And so what we did, because she's in a leadership role, albeit a beginning leadership role, what we did because she's in that role is she was able to identify only 3 of those committees that were actually valuable for her as it related to her vaccine work. And that meant, I think there were 15 in total, that meant that the other 12 were growth opportunities for people around her. Now, if you look at the things that you do today and you start distinguishing between the things that are growth opportunities for other people that you've already grown into, they're things that you should be letting go of. The growth opportunities for you are where you're going to put your focus and your alignment. And then she went out and she made offers to the department head to grow some of the other people into those roles, do a handoff with them, set them up on the committees, make sure that you went to one of the meetings with them, and she was able to pretty much outsource, because they weren't all necessarily reporting to her. 12 of the other committee meetings that she was going to on a regular basis, realign her work with what she was deeply passionate about and where she wanted to make the biggest contribution. As a leader, if you're making offers and you are also using some of those offers as an opportunity to be able to grow people, you can align yourself more tightly with work that you're passionate about and work that you love. Recognition and career advancement, also another huge part of being in a leadership position. If you build yourself as an effective leader, what you will recognize is that other effective leaders gravitate towards you. Now, when we think about leadership, we think about, well, there's only one CEO and there's only, 20 to a couple of hundred VPs, depending on the size of the organization, obviously. So there's a finite number of roles. But here's the deal with that is not everybody wants to be a leader. Everybody isn't prepared to put themselves through the mill and the grind and the hard work and the learning and the research and the leadership, the responsibility of leadership in order to be a leader. Some people are just not interested in doing that. So if you think about recognition and career advancements, once you step into a leadership role, there's an opportunity for you to be able to step into other leadership roles, maybe on par with the one that you're in. And there's also, because you're going to see those opportunities coming sooner than anybody else will, and there's an opportunity for you to continue up the career ladder and really grow your leadership capability. What I have found is that leadership is one of the most powerful places for really kind of discovering who you are, what you're about, and how you want to add value to society. Now, you can do that through community, you can do that through relationships, you can do that through caring, but all of those involve a level of leadership of yourself and others anyway. So I'm talking about leadership in the more traditional sense of leadership, which is within an organization, but recognize that if you put yourself in a leadership position in an organization, it's also growing your leadership capacity right across the board for the whole rest of your life. Personal fulfillment. So lots of people think of this in terms of, I'm fulfilled by growing others, and I love them for it. I'm fulfilled by growing others too, but I'm not completely fulfilled by growing others. I think if we recognize that we are fulfilled by growing ourselves and growing others, we are being more honest. If I'm putting my neck on the line, so to speak, in order to be in a leadership role and taking the responsibility for that leadership role, which sometimes means that you have sleepless nights, then I really encourage you to look at and answer what's in it for me. And I don't mean that in a sort of selfish, demanding, entitled way. I mean that in a really understanding my alignment with what I want, where I want to add value, what growth opportunities there are for me, and by virtue of that, what growth opportunities I create behind me. If someone says to me, all I want to do is to be able to grow other people, I question them in terms of how they are going to grow themselves first. So think of this as, if you've flown on an airplane and the staff tell you that you need to be able to put your own mask on first. So when it comes to personal fulfillment in terms of leadership, put your own mask on first. Figure out what it is that motivates you to be a leader. Figure out how it is that is going to allow you to be able to grow. Figure out how it's going to help you align with what it is that you love doing, and then help others do the same. So a leadership role is less about authority and more about responsibility and accountability for outcomes and growth opportunities for you. So it doesn't come with just responsibility, it also comes with a tremendous amount of opportunity. I've done another video on this that I think will also help you. It's called What is a Leadership Role? As you start exploring your leadership and you start answering the honest question of what's in it for me, I encourage you to drop a comment in the comments below. Let me know how it is that you're doing. Like, subscribe, join in the conversation. Tell me what's valuable for you. I key a lot of the videos of what you report as being valuable for you. Let me know what it is and join in the conversation. I wish you the very best of luck on your leadership journey.